Hello, hello, my friends. I'm here and I'm going to be kind of like half in front and half in back of the camera. This is week 48. We are finished with 48 weeks, and I wanted to go through and just show you a few of the things I've been collecting. As you can see, I've got my coffee cup. Mmm, yum. And the idea of this is that we're collecting 2,000 pounds of kitchen scraps and all the different things that we can, food that's expired. Uh, we're going to put it back into my soil and not throw it away and not throw it down the garbage disposal. And the reason I wanted to do it this week in front was because this is Thanksgiving weekend here in America and across the United States. People are peeling their potatoes, peeling their sweet potatoes, and all of this is either going in the trash or down the garbage disposal. And it really should be going back out into your garden. Coffee grounds, tea bags, eggshells. You can take your eggshells and just crumble them if you want. You can also pulverize them in either your NutriBullet blender or if you have a coffee grinder that grinds the beans. You can put your eggshells in that. Uh, I I have never personally carved a pumpkin. I don't know why. I don't know. We didn't do it that way, or we would buy one and then you know throw it away. And shame on me for all the years that we did that. But I had a neighbor who was throwing theirs out, and so I brought two of them home. And then, as luck would have it, a few days ago, my neighbor up the street, not the guy who brings me his grass clippings, that's Brian, but a couple who lives a little closer. I only know them to say hello and chat a bit, and they had a pumpkin out, and so she said, Ellen and Jeremy. Ellen said, "Oh, we're not allowed to put up. We're not. I'd give it to you now, but we're not allowed to put up any decorations until after Thanksgiving. My husband rules." And I thought, boy, you haven't been married very long, but they're in their 40s, so I would assume it's been a while. But we women know that we just kind of let you guys think you rule the house. Anyway, so he walked on with this yesterday, the end of the end of the day, and said, "Here, you can have it." And so we'll figure out what we're going to do. But here's the seeds. Now, this is from the other two, and this has been in the freezer for a week or more, as has this. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I'm not sure my worms are going to be able to eat all of this. So I think part of it's going to go into my compost. And and of course, my neighbors across the street, I had the bird in. This is Sunday, December 1st. But this was Thursday, and I got a note from my neighbor that said, "I know you probably are busy cooking, but I left a bunch of cardboard outside your door." Oh, goodness. Okay. So we brought it in so there's no bugs, but it'll get shredded and weighed for next week. That's no problem. And let's see what else. Oh, avocado. I know I've mentioned this before, but avocados are really good. These are the pits, and you can chop these up and use them to make an avocado tea, which is really, really healthy. And even if you took the avocado and put that through your grinder, like I have here, this is all like a powder. Which here, let me show you. I believe it's actually edible. I mean, you're gonna make a tea out of it. You could probably eat it as well. Animals do, and I think that would be fine. Anyway, this is the shell, and I use them. I pack them full of food, and then I feed them to the worms. And my little guy here. This is for, isn't he cute? Anyway, he's holding up our challenge, and we're getting real close. That's, hang on there and wait a minute, and I'll give you the stats. But if you have anything in your pantry that's getting stale and that you want to put out either for your worms or for the compost, uh, or even if you trench compost, you can do all that. So let's get to it. Let's see what we got here. Hello, hello. Let's try to make this as quick as possible today so you can all get off to have fun and do whatever you wish to do. So, anyway, we are at the end. Our November is finished. Yay! And now we have one more month. We only have 4 weeks left to go. And our statistics are, I was really surprised. I thought it was going to be a week of really maybe 10 pounds, maybe 15 at most. And when he walked down with this, I thought, oh, bless your heart. Oh, goody, oh, goody. Yeah. So anyway, this was counted in the end of the week, because he did bring it down Friday morning. Yeah, it was Friday morning. I was out sweeping, and but my neighbor with the cardboard, when she brought it over, it's I don't want to sound ungrateful, but it's kind of a mess. She just throws everything into a big cardboard box, and she'll bring it over, and it's got papers and things, her mail, just everything, and I have to sort through it, and it usually takes me like an hour and a half to go through and cut stuff off, and how I can shred it, and how I can do this, and how I haven't had the chance to do it yet, and so it'll get put on the first week in December. So that was my bad. But anyway, let me see, what can I read that? Excuse me. Last week we were up to 1,952 pounds and 14 ounces. And this week we got 28 pounds, 5.1 ounces. So we have 1,981 pounds, 3.1 ounces. I mean, I only need to get 19 more pounds in 4 weeks. So I think I'm golden on that. I think I've definitely a 99.9 chance of making it to my 2,000. I'm already starting to say, well, could I make 2,100? We're never satisfied with what we've got. We always want just a little bit more. And also, the elm tree is starting to drop its leaves again. For those of you who went on the mid-week tour, mid-November tour, the leaves had almost stopped dropping. And so we've had some cold nights, and we've had some cold nights, and all of a sudden, and then warm days, and the elm leaves are starting to, the Drake elm leaves are starting to drop. And I was out there yesterday, I was sweeping, and this older lady, I would guess she was probably 80, and so she walked by and she said, you just don't get it. And I don't know her, I didn't recognize her, and I said, okay. And she said, yeah, the more you sweep, the more they drop. And I said, well, that's true. I said, but I collect my leaves. I said, I have a compost pile. And she said, oh, I used to do that, but I can't be bothered with any of that stuff anymore. I'm too old. I can't be bothered. And she was out walking. She was very spry. I mean, she looked as healthy as me, and I said to her, "Oh," I said, "but you can." And I said, "I'm a recycler," and I said, "These leaves will feed my soil," and I said, and make my yard more beautiful. And she said, "Oh, that's a good point. That's true, isn't it?" And then she walked on by. I thought, oh, I think I was preaching to the deaf. I think she decided now that she wasn't where she wanted to be anymore. So we all have to do our part, or I should say, we all should do our part. It's a free world. We live in the United States, so uh, uh, so far it's free, and we can or we don't have to. But I hope you choose to pick up your broom or your rake or whatever you have and join me in this little recycling adventure. And maybe in 2025, you will start your own little hub of saying, "Hey, I'm gonna pull back 1,000 pounds from my garbage and mention it to my neighbors, and let's see who decides to come along for the ride." Because it was interesting that they went, "Oh, I was just going to throw it in the trash." And the other two that I took, um, we have a trash pickup day, and the guy was putting them out with his regular trash in front of the can, which we have mechanical arms that come at the side of the truck, so that would have probably gotten just, they would have been run over and mashed into the street. So it was over 25 pounds for the first two, and and this was over, so almost 39 pounds that that didn't either get mashed into the street or just wasn't just thrown away. So it always makes me feel good, and it was really fun because I didn't realize what it looked like inside, and I've seen my sister do it, and it always looks like such a huge mess. But gardening with Bar Chuck, and he was putting in his uh, the top piece, and Sandra over at Nana's Worms and Garden, she's out in Vancouver Island, and she puts out the word, and they go and collect several of their pumpkins. So I've read statistics that say millions of pounds of pumpkins that are grown never see a pumpkin pie. They never live to their full capacity. They're never anything like that. They end up being in just landfills or thrown in the water. They end up in the ocean. They end up wherever. In years past, I've seen them in the lake. Somebody took one and just had it laying by the lake. I guess they thought that something would come and eat it, and it rotted by the lake. So I don't know if that's good or bad. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great day. I hope I'm in your frame. Remember, garden what you've got. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend. And take care. And I hope to see you back next Sunday. Remember, garden what you've got. Use what you have. Take care, everybody. Love you guys. Bye bye.